Welcome back, brothers and sisters in the Lord Jesus Christ. This is Predicting the NFL with Mickey G. That is right, baby. Last week went much better than the previous two. Okay, went 10-4. However, other things didn't go as well. Besides my record, 99-63 is what we have now. One game away from 100 dubs, almost there. 6-5 in the game of the week, 7-4 in the Crapfest, 2-9 in the upset, getting both game of the week and the Crapfest right. But the upset, sadly, the Eagles weren't able to beat the Patriots. But it's time to move to our 60-second recap in 3, 2, 1. Well, Myles Garrett hit Mason Rudolph in the head with his helmet. Jets destroy in another tank bowl. Falcons continue to confuse. They're winning. They're playing well, and I don't understand it. Dolphins go back to normal. Sadly, they are now not undefeated in November. MVP Lamar continues. No run defense for the Jaguars. Jameis reopens the bakery. The Lions' defense looks dismal. Kirk brings it back, baby, from a 20-point deficit. Attaway Kirk. The Bengals are eliminated from playoff contention. First team. Eagles keep it close, as I said. 49ers come back from a little bit of a deficit against the Cardinals. Rams survive a mediocre bowl. And the Chargers D tries to keep it close, but Phillip Rivers, he's getting up there in age. 4 interceptions for the big guy in Mexico City. And that's your 60-second recap. So first off, some of you may have seen the my thoughts on Nick Foles. And, some people didn't like it. It actually right now has a worse like ratio. There's more dislikes than likes on the video right now. Which is hilarious. But it's gotten me a lot of views. So I'm not too upset about it. I'm actually quite excited about the video. Which means there might be more rants coming up, depending on how this week goes. But more on that in about 5 or 6 games here in the list. But first, moving into predictions here, we got our Thursday night game, big divisional matchup. We have the Colts at the Texans. Colts coming off an absolute destruction of the Jaguars team, which I'm still a bit angry over. Texans, on the other hand, got destroyed by Lamar Jackson. Just complete and utter failure by the team. Bit of the refs being really bad, but not enough to really change the game that much. Here's the thing. Every once in a while, Deshaun doesn't get it going, but he always bounces back. Not quite the level of Lamar Jackson, I think, of MVP caliber. Right now, Lamar's got my vote. I'll say that much. But Deshaun's still playing well. And a Colts team that really shouldn't have done as well as they did against the Jaguars, in my opinion. If they could stop the run game, especially now that Marlon Mack is out for the foreseeable future, I think Texans bring back at home, Thursday night, prime time, Deshaun getting the dub here in our first game for Week 12. Next, we have the Steelers at the Bengals. Now, the Steelers lost a lot of offense and defense. There's a lot of injuries going on here. Plus the suspensions of Mike Pouncey. Not a good place for the Steelers. Juju's probably going to be out. James Conner gets hurt every other week. Isn't consistent. Whole lot of issues going on there. And I've got Cordell Stewart here to try to help do anything. I don't know. Bengals, on the other hand, completely awful. Bad franchise. And they should just quit the rest of the games this year. Because they're trying to get the first pick here. I mean, that's the only logical explanation at this point for how incredibly bad they are. But there's one thing that might make it close. Mason Rudolph has not been doing the greatest job. I've been saying past couple weeks or so, I don't know if I've necessarily been saying on here, but I've been saying to my father, who is a big Steelers fan, hence the reason why there's even a Cordell Stewart jersey in the house. He's been saying that, I've been saying to him, the Duckman needs to get his shot again. Duckman has played in 2 games. Well, multiple snaps in 2 games. One against the Ravens, where almost brought it back. Good performance there. Another against the Chargers, when he won effectively. The support was behind him. But Mason Rudolph came back from his concussion, and now look what he's done. Very ineffective play, non-consistency, bad deep balls. Someone else we know, Nick Foles, brought together in a little thing that's not working too well. Mason Rudolph, 4 interceptions in the game against the Browns last week, which led to some issues between him and Myles Garrett, and the helmet, I believe, was involved too, actually. Each of theirs. Whole lot of a scuffling going on there. This is a guy that I don't think is ready for an NFL starting job. Duckman, on the other hand, goes in there and he's like, hey, I'm just here to have fun. What does he do? Gets back there and he slings it. Gets dubs. Steelers, I'm looking at you. Make the right decision here. Also, Rudolph should have gotten a little bit of suspension. At least a game. Maybe 2. I don't know. A lot of problems went down in that game. A lot of the other bad hit happened earlier on a receiver. Quick head-to-head collision there. Did not look good. A lot of problems in the game. But overall, the Bengals suck. And no matter who the Steelers have in, it should be enough to beat the Bengals. Next, we have our upset of the week. We have the Broncos at the Bills. The Bills, yes, they had a kind of convincing win last week against the Dolphins. But it is, in fact, the Dolphins, so it doesn't really mean that much. Also, looking at who the Bills have played this year, literally no one. They've played the Patriots, and that's basically it for decent teams. The only team they've beat that has a winning record is the Titans, and that's just because the Titans like to, pretend they're good for one game and bad for next. So I don't know. We just ignore them. That screws up the statistics. But Bills really don't look good. And a Broncos team that's had a quick couple close ones, especially last week against Kirk and friends, I think they can sneak in there and get themselves a victory. Plus, the Bills have not been performing that exciting, in my opinion. So, going with the Broncos here in the upset of the week. Next, we have the Dolphins at the Browns. Browns may have lost Myles Garrett for the rest of the season, and for who knows how long. Also lost Obungany, another guy, for hitting Mason Rudolph after play as well. But I don't believe that is enough for them to really be in a bad spot. The Browns, if you can't beat the Dolphins, I mean, come on. Okay? Just get a victory here. Browns get this one. Moving on to the Raiders at the Jets. Raiders looking a lot better than I originally thought they were going to be this year. I thought it was going to be another repeat of last year where they have a couple close ones. One that shouldn't have been a dub against the Browns. Other things like that. But instead we're getting some convincing victories here. Good play all around. Josh Jacobs, great draft pick for the Raiders there. Doing a great job out there. Derek Carr playing well. The whole team is looking great, honestly, for considering what we thought was going to be. Jets, on the other hand, they like beating bad teams and the Cowboys. So they're not really that big of an opponent here. I feel like the Raiders continue their luck. They might end up sneaking into the playoffs, if we're being honest here. If we're looking real close at what things might happen. So I'm going to go with the Raiders here in this one over the Jets. Next, we have an interesting one. We have ourselves the Jaguars and the Titans. Jaguars, last time they played the Titans, they got a fat dub. You want to know who's their quarterback? Gardner Bloody Minshew, the second, baby. What a guy. Now they got Foles. And if they do what they did last game, where Leonard only gets 8 carries, this is Leonard's turnaround year, okay? He was leading the league in all-purpose yards at some point this year. It was like week 6 or 7. That's a lot of games in. That's pretty good. But you only get 8 carries? Are you kidding me? What are you doing, Jacksonville? Now, again, if you're behind, you want to throw the ball. But the guy got 8 carries throughout the entire game. They didn't even... Come on. What are you doing? Okay, it might not start out with the best average. But this is a guy who, as the defense gets tired, he punishes him. Leonard keeps going. Give him the freaking ball. this isn't on Nick Foles. The game is not all on Nick Foles. I was a bit excitable after the game Sunday because I wanted Gardner to play. I felt like he was a better option. I still think he's a better option. Not all on Nick Foles, that loss. For the most part, he did throw, stat-wise, a good game. There were some issues and deep ball accuracy and things like that. Also the ability, to make plays. There's something that Gardner has that Foles doesn't. When Foles is getting blitzed, he'll move around in the pocket, maybe scramble a little bit to the right or left, dump down, check down. What Gardner can do is he can extend a play. Whether it's on his feet running the ball or just a little bit of scrambling and then throwing it down. I don't know. But I would expect more from someone who is an Super Bowl MVP to come into a team that's looked all right. They've been very, very middle of the pack. So if you bring in a Super Bowl MVP quarterback, they should push you ahead, you would think. But to not play any better than with a rookie quarterback who wasn't expected to start anytime soon in the league makes a question. The problem is how the defense did against the run game. 2 100-yard rushers. And you know who we played this week? We played the Titans. You know who the Titans have? Derrick Henry. You know what Derrick Henry did last time? On a little Thursday night game? He almost had 100 yards on one play. He went 99 for a touchdown. So I am not excited for this game at all. I'm going with the Titans because I don't have the faith in Nick Foles. I don't have the faith in the run defense. This point, I'm very disappointed with last week, the coaches and the players. I'm gonna have to see some changes, or there might be another video coming. It gets 100 views and a lot of dislikes and angry comments. But if I'm getting views, it's all about the system. Anyways, that's enough about the Jaguars. They're gonna lose. Moving in to the next game, we have the Cowboys at the Patriots. I really, really, really want the Patriots to lose games. There's always something that they just get a little bit of squeak ahead. Last week, it's a decent throw, pretty good throw by Carson Wentz, dropped by Nelson Aguilar in the end zone. Yes, it's a difficult catch, but it hit both hands. You got to catch the ball if you're in that professional level. But Nelson Aguilar is the kind of guy who likes to drop a lot of passes, a lot of big passes. He's done it consistently this year. But that's not the point. We're talking about the Cowboys and the Patriots. Patriots, like I said, sneaking by. Cowboys, they lost to the Jets. Cowboys have not won a game against a team with a winning record. As much as the Patriots have played really bad opponents, they do in fact have a win against a team with a winning record. That might be the Bills, but it's still a team with a winning record. And I feel like the Cowboys are on a similar level as the Bills, so I'm giving this one to the Patriots. Probably going to be able to do it. Tom Brady, though, has been looking terrible lately. Not good. I'm not just saying because I don't like the Patriots. If you watch the plays, a lot of it's not good. Whenever he tries to run, that's yucky. Going with the Patriots. Sadly, don't want to, but it's what I got to do. Next, we have the Ravens at the Rams. The Ravens looking great. Lamar MVP candidate. MVP winner, most likely, if he continues this kind of stuff. Rams, on the other hand, no. I still want him to put Blake in. I still want to see the boat on the field with the opportunity to do something besides having to read and then get a little dinky stop from third down. Ravens getting this one. Much better team. Doesn't really matter where they play, who they're playing. The Ravens, I'm picking every time at this point. Next, we got the Giants at the Bears. This is a whole lot of crap I'm looking at right now. Giants, you're looking awful. You're not being... I've given you a couple where I've been like, maybe they'll get it. And they just don't. They just don't even... the defense is so bad. Bears, on the other hand, Trubisky might be out. He got a hip injury. Whether or not it's an actual injury or they just don't want to play him anymore, I don't know. I don't really care, but I hope he's out because I kind of need a quarterback in my Dynasty League for fantasy because Kirk is on a bye. Case Keenum has been benched. Landry Jones isn't even in the league anymore. It's not a really good situation for my quarterback. So Chase Daniel, I need you to go in there and do something interesting. Get like 12 points. That's all I really want. I'm not that invested in this league. But I need a quarterback. So if he doesn't play, then we're going to have some issues. Bears. They don't have Trubisky in, most likely. So I think they can get the job done. Next, we have the Buccaneers at the Falcons. Now, what the heck is a Falcon? Is a great question to ask. Because, I mean, the beginning of the season, I was like, well, it's a pile of crap. But now, the past 2 games, crushing the Saints, crushing the Panthers. Whew. We're looking at a 28-3 kind of situation here. Getting all the way down and then whoosh, chopped by the Patriots. But they don't play the Patriots, I don't believe. They're playing the Buccaneers instead. Famous Jameis, who opened up his bakery last week with 4 turnovers. Great job. Well, 4 picks. Might have been some fumbles. I'm not sure. Falcons, on the other hand, looking great right now. They're on a roll. Giving it to them here. Falcons continue on. Julio, give me some points in fantasy. I like a dub. Next, we have the Lions at the Redskins. Lions are not going to have... Oh, this is Crapfest, by the way. The Lions are not going to have Stafford. Matt Stafford, he's out for probably the rest of the season at this point. It's not looking good for him. Disappointment, because he was really the only thing that got them going, for being honest here. Redskins, on the other hand, they got Dwayne Haskins as their quarterback. That's an L. There you go. Lions, I don't care who their quarterback is. It's probably better than Dwayne Haskins. He's getting dubs. All right, next we have the Panthers at the Saints. Panthers, tough loss last week. Colin, bad performance. Really not his best. Easily not his best. Probably his worst. So on the other hand, they got their mojo back after the weird loss to the Falcons that I'm still kind of confused about. Saints, I can't pick him to lose at this point. I got a lot of faith behind him. They got a lot more losses than they should, I believe. I really think they could have been undefeated at this point in the season. But it doesn't really matter. They have the losses. They got to deal with it, but they're not getting one this week. Saints getting another victory in this one. Next, we have our game of the week. We have the Packers at the 49ers. Niners have 1 loss in the season, but they've had a couple close games recently. They lost to the Seahawks a couple weeks ago. Almost lost to the Cardinals twice within like 3 or 4 weeks. Not a good thing. Packers, on the other hand, don't really have too many losses either. They have 2. And they've looked really good. And I think Niners losing again. I'm going with the Packers in this one. They're resting up. They're just coming off of a bye. Everyone's going to be fresh. Aaron Jones ready to take the handoff and just go. He's just going to go. Aaron Jones, the Packers getting dubs here against 49ers. And finally, we have the Seahawks at the Eagles. Battle of the Birds. Eagles, bit of a disappointing loss last week. I had them. I thought they were close. Couldn't pull it together in the end. Seahawks, on the other hand, I think they were on a bye, actually. No? They weren't on a bye. Were they? Doesn't really matter. They're winning this game. Eagles are in a bad place. Deshaun Jackson, it's not back. Not even going to pretend to be on the field. Whenever he pretends to be on the field, usually do well. But he's not even going to pretend this time. He's out for a while. Disappointing. I know. Seahawks going out there, knocking him out. Russell getting dubs. That's all for this week. Maybe I'll get a couple new viewers. Considering my last video was about sports and football. It went well. So, let's see. Smash like. Go smash like the other one so I get a better ratio. That'd be cool. So I can know that people agree with me and my opinions. Even though a lot of people probably don't. But anyways, that's not the point. That's all we've got. As always, adios.